Jewels are not merely adornations, but witnesses of epics, keepers of secrets and passions. Are you ready to touch history, frozen in the brilliance of diamonds? Today, we shall immerse ourselves in a world of luxury and magnificence, unveiling the secrets of 8 little-known, yet incredibly significant jewels of the British monarchy. Prepare for a journey full of intrigue, dramatic twists of fate, and of course, the dazzling radiance of precious stones. 1. The Queen Mary Fringe Necklace, the twilight of the diamond collar era and the birth of a new style. Imagine London at the beginning of the 20th century, the era of King Edward VII's reign, a time of luxury and refinement. But in the jewelry world, change was brewing. The massive diamond collars tightly encircling the neck, so beloved by Queen Alexandra, were gradually giving way to more refined and elegant pieces. And one of the symbols of this changing era was the Queen Mary Fringe Necklace, created in 1901 by the renowned jewelry house Gerard & Company. This necklace is not just a collection of precious stones, but a true work of art, reflecting the spirit of the time. It consists of diamonds of various cuts, masterfully combined into a single harmonious composition. Notice the central stones. They are larger with a more expressive cut, possibly rose or old mine, which gives them a special radiance and play of light. Around them is a scattering of smaller diamonds, creating the effect of a shimmering halo. One can imagine how, under the rays of light or the flame of candles, the necklace came to life, shimmering with all the facets of the precious stones. The jewelers of Gerard & Company, known for their impeccable taste and craftsmanship, put all their efforts into creating not just a piece of jewelry, but a true masterpiece. Each stone was carefully selected and set with pinpoint precision. The fine work of the masters is visible in every detail, in the elegant lines of the setting, in the smooth transitions from one element to another. The necklace does not look bulky despite the abundance of diamonds. Rather, it creates a feeling of lightness, airiness, and aristocracy. For Queen Mary, this necklace became one of her favorites. She wore it throughout her life, and it became an integral part of her image. Recall the official portraits of the Queen. The necklace is often present on them, emphasizing her status and impeccable taste. It appeared on her at formal receptions, state visits, and family celebrations. The necklace witnessed many important events in the life of the Queen and the British monarchy as a whole. It did not simply adorn, but spoke of its owner, her character, and her place in history. 2. The Cartier Nizam of Hyderabad Tiara, a story of a generous gift, dashed hopes, and a second birth. This story begins like a fairy tale. 1947. Princess Elizabeth, the future Queen of the United Kingdom, is preparing for her wedding to Prince Philip. And as a wedding gift, she receives from the Nizam of Hyderabad, the ruler of one of the richest princely states of India, a truly royal gift, a tiara and necklace from the famous jewelry house, Cartier. Imagine this tiara, a sparkling splendor, the epitome of luxury and grace. Its base is likely made of platinum, a metal that is ideal for diamonds, emphasizing their brilliance and whiteness. But the main feature of the tiara is the 3 detachable rose brooches. Each rose is a separate work of art. The petals, strewn with diamonds, seem alive, ready to bloom at any moment. The central stones in each rose, probably large diamonds of brilliant or pear cut, attract the eye with their clarity and play of light. These brooches not only adorn the tiara, they were independent pieces of jewelry. Queen Elizabeth II often wore them separately, pinning them to dresses or coats. They became some of her most recognizable and beloved jewels. One can imagine the Queen choosing which rose to wear with a particular outfit, how they complemented her look, giving it a special elegance. However, the tiara's fate was not as cloudless as its brilliance. In 1973, Queen Elizabeth II made a decision that surprised many. She dismantled the tiara. This was not a spontaneous decision, but a carefully considered step. The Queen wanted to create a new tiara that would reflect her personal taste and have special significance. The diamonds from the Nizam of Hyderabad tiara, as well as Burmese rubies, which were also gifted to her for her wedding, became the basis for a new tiara, the famous Burmese ruby tiara. This decision shows that for the Queen, jewels are not just objects of luxury, but symbols that can transform and acquire new meaning depending on the circumstances. 3. Queen Victoria's brooch, a witness of an era, a symbol of power, and a family heirloom. Let us transport ourselves to the Victorian era, during the reign of Queen Victoria, a period of the flourishing of the British Empire. In 1856, the jewelry house Garrard and Company, the court jeweler, created a brooch for the Queen that would become one of the most recognizable symbols of her long and glorious reign. This brooch is the epitome of Victorian style, strict elegance, restraint, and deep symbolism. In the center is a large, oval-shaped sapphire of a deep, rich blue color. The sapphire, a stone of kings, a symbol of wisdom, power, nobility, and loyalty. It was ideally suited for Queen Victoria, who ruled a vast empire and enjoyed the immense respect of her subjects. The sapphire is surrounded by 12 diamonds, probably of rose or old mine cut, which were popular at the time. The diamonds enhance the radiance of the sapphire, creating a halo of light around it. The brooch itself is most likely made of gold, possibly yellow or rose, which was characteristic of the Victorian era. Queen Victoria first appeared with this brooch in the famous portrait by Franz Xaver Winterhalter in 1859. This portrait became one of the most recognizable images of the Queen, and the brooch on it immediately attracted attention. It became not just a piece of jewelry, but a symbol of power, greatness, and the steadfastness of the British Empire. The brooch was passed down through inheritance, from one queen to another. It was worn by Queen Elizabeth, the Queen Mother, the wife of King George VI. In 1948, she even posed in this brooch for a fashion shoot in Vogue magazine. This was a bold move for that time, showing that members of the royal family are not alien to the world of fashion and are open to experimentation. 4. Queen Adelaide's brooch. From coronation clasp to a family heirloom that has survived the centuries. This story takes us back to 1831, during the reign of King William IV and his wife, Queen Adelaide. For the Queen's coronation, the jewelry firm Rundell, Bridge & Rundell created a magnificent necklace, and an important detail of this necklace was a brooch that served as a clasp. Imagine this brooch, an elegant diamond bow, a symbol of femininity and elegance. The central element of the bow is a large, pear-shaped diamond, which attracts the eye with its unusual shape and play of light. The diamond likely has an antique cut, which gives it a special charm and vintage look. The rest of the bow is studded with smaller diamonds, creating the effect of a shimmering radiance. The brooch is most likely made of gold or platinum, which emphasizes the nobility of the precious stones. This brooch was not just a clasp, but a true work of jewelry art. It was created to adorn the Queen on the most important day of her life, her coronation day. But over time, the brooch ceased to be used for its original purpose. It became an independent piece of jewelry, a family heirloom that was passed down through inheritance. The brooch survived several generations of the royal family and ultimately ended up in the collection of Queen Elizabeth II. The Queen valued this brooch for its historical significance and beauty. She was the last one to wear it, emphasizing the connection of times and the continuity of traditions. Queen Adelaide's brooch is not just a piece of jewelry, but a witness to history, a reminder of the glorious past of the British monarchy. 5. Queen Alexandra's wedding necklace, a gift of love, a symbol of family values, and timeless classic. 1862. The Prince of Wales, the future King Edward VII, is preparing for his wedding to Princess Alexandra of Denmark. As a wedding gift, he presents his bride with a magnificent jewelry set from Garrard and Company, including a necklace, brooch, and earrings. But it was the necklace that became the true jewel of this gift. Imagine this necklace, a complex interweaving of diamond strands, creating a feeling of lightness and airiness. The central element is a large diamond, possibly of cushion or oval cut, which attracts the eye with its clarity and brilliance. Around it is a scattering of smaller diamonds, creating the effect of a radiant halo. Elegant pearls, probably natural, not cultured, complete the composition, giving it a special tenderness and aristocracy. This necklace was not just a wedding gift, but a symbol of love and fidelity. Edward VII was known for his amorous nature, but Alexandra always remained the main woman in his life. The necklace became a sign of his deep feelings for her, his admiration for her beauty and grace. Alexandra often wore this necklace throughout her life. It became one of her most recognizable jewels, a symbol of her style and elegance. The necklace appeared on her in official portraits, at formal events, and at family celebrations. It witnessed many important events in the life of Alexandra in the British monarchy. The necklace was passed down through inheritance, from mother to daughter, and is still part of the royal collection. It reminds us of the romantic love story of Edward VII and Alexandra, of the beauty and grace that are timeless. 6. Queen Mary's corsage ornament, a diamond transformation, a reflection of an era, and a symbol of ingenuity. Queen Mary, the wife of King George V, was known for her passion for jewels and her ability to transform them. She was not afraid to rework old jewelry, giving it new life and creating new unique combinations. And one of the most striking examples of her ingenuity was the corsage ornament, created in 1920. This ornament is a true masterpiece of jewelry art, reflecting the spirit of the Art Deco era with its geometric shapes, clean lines, and love of luxury. It was based on numerous wedding gifts that Queen Mary received in 1893. She decided to combine them into one large, spectacular piece of jewelry that could be worn in various ways. The ornament consisted of 3 separate parts, which could be worn together or separately. Each part was a complex composition of diamonds of various cuts and sizes. One can imagine how these diamonds sparkled under the light of lamps, how they shimmered with all the colors of the rainbow, creating a feeling of luxury and magnificence. The central part was probably the largest and most spectacular. It could be, for example, a stylized flower or a geometric figure studded with diamonds. The 2 side parts could be smaller and more elegant, complementing the central element. All 3 parts were connected to each other by hidden clasps, which allowed for various combinations and to wear the ornament in different ways. This ornament is a striking example of how Queen Mary was able to combine practicality and beauty. She not only created a new piece of jewelry, but gave new life to old jewels that may have gone out of fashion or ceased to please her. She showed her creativity, her ingenuity, and her impeccable taste. 7. The Strathmore Rose Tiara, Queen Elizabeth's tiara, a family heirloom, a symbol of modesty and respect for traditions. This tiara is special. It carries not only the beauty and brilliance of precious stones, but also a deep family meaning. The Strathmore Rose Tiara was given to Lady Elizabeth Bowes-Lyon, the future Queen Mother, by her father, the Earl of Strathmore, on her wedding to the Duke of York, the future King George VI, in 1923. The tiara, created by the famous jewelry house Garrard and Company, features 5 stylized rose blossoms made of diamonds. Roses are a symbol of England, a symbol of love and beauty. Each flower is a separate work of art, a delicate work of masters who, with pinpoint precision, conveyed the shape and elegance of the petals. The diamonds, probably of rose or old mine cut, create the effect of a shimmering radiance, giving the roses a special tenderness and charm. But the peculiarity of this tiara is not only in its beauty, but also in its functionality. It could be worn in 2 ways, as a traditional tiara on the head and as a bandeau, a fashionable headpiece at that time, which was worn on the forehead. This made the tiara versatile, suitable for different occasions and different outfits. In addition, the tiara had a special lining that allowed it to be worn more comfortably and securely, which was especially important for the active and energetic Elizabeth. The Strathmore Rose tiara became a favorite piece of jewelry of the Queen Mother. She often wore it throughout her life, and the tiara became one of the symbols of her elegance and style. But after her death in 2002, the tiara was inherited by Queen Elizabeth II, who, however, never wore it in public. This decision of Queen Elizabeth II raises many questions. Perhaps she considered the tiara too personal, too closely associated with the image of her mother. Perhaps she did not want to be compared to the Queen Mother, who enjoyed immense love and popularity among the people. Or perhaps it was simply a sign of respect for the memory of her mother and family traditions. 8. Queen Adelaide's wheat ear brooch, and a story of litigation, a symbol of power, and a reminder of the fragility of treasures. The story of this set of brooches is not just the story of the creation of a piece of jewelry, but a real historical detective story, full of intrigue, litigation, and unexpected twists. It all began in 1830, when King William IV commissioned a set of 6 wheat ear brooches for his wife, Queen Adelaide. Wheat ears are a symbol of fertility, prosperity, and abundance. They were ideal for the Queen, who was known for her kindness, generosity, and care for her people. To make the brooches, the jewelry house Bridge and Company, Rundle, Bridge and Rundle, used 580 diamonds from the treasury of George III, William IV's grandfather. One can imagine how these diamonds sparkled, how they shimmered with all the colors of the rainbow, creating a feeling of luxury and magnificence. The brooches were intended to adorn the queen's hairstyle. At that time, it was fashionable to wear elaborate hairstyles adorned with jewels. The wheat ears, woven into the hair, gave the queen's image a special solemnity and grandeur. But the history of the brooches was connected with dramatic events. In 1857, Ernest Augustus, the fifth son of George III, Duke of Cumberland and King of Hanover, filed a lawsuit against the British Crown. He claimed that some of the family heirlooms, including jewels that belonged to his father, were being illegally held by the British royal family. The litigation was long and complex. As a result, Queen Victoria, who was ruling Britain at that time, was forced to transfer some of the jewels to Hanover, including some items from the collection of George III. This event was a real blow to Queen Victoria. She was very attached to family heirlooms and considered them an integral part of the history of the British monarchy. The loss of the jewels was not only a material, but also a moral loss for her. But Queen Victoria did not give up. She decided to recover the lost jewels and take measures to ensure that this would not happen again. She ordered the jewelry house Gerard and Company to create exact replicas of the lost jewelry using stones from swords, epaulets, and other useless things from the royal treasury. Among other things, the wheat ear brooches were recreated. The masters of Gerard and Company, with pinpoint precision, replicated the original design of the brooches, using diamonds that may not have been as large and clear as the originals, but still possessed sufficient brilliance and beauty. Moreover, Queen Victoria ordered a detailed inventory of all the crown jewels to be drawn up and secured the status of property of the crown for some of them. This meant that these jewels could not be sold, gifted, or inherited outside the royal family. They became an integral part of the royal property, a symbol of power and continuity of generations. The story of the wheat ear brooches is a reminder that even the most valuable treasures can be fragile and vulnerable. It is a story about how important it is to cherish and protect one's heritage, traditions, and history. These 8 jewels are only a small part of the vast treasury of the British monarchy. Each of them is not just a jewel, but a witness to history, a keeper of secrets, and a symbol of power, love, and continuity of generations. They remind us that behind the brilliance of diamonds lie human destinies, passions, intrigues, and the grandeur of epics. What other secrets do the royal treasuries hold? What else is there for us to learn about the jewels that have adorned monarchs for centuries? Stay with us, share your thoughts in the comments, give us a like, and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss new fascinating stories from the world of jewelry art.